I want to recommend a podcast I recently checked out called True Crime Culinary because it's unlike anything else I have ever listened to. At first, I thought it was going to be just another true crime show. But what really surprised me is that it uses food as the lens to tell stories about crime, history, survival, and some truly unexpected moments from the past. You come away learning things you did not even know you wanted to know. One of my favorite parts is that the episodes are concise, so it's easy to listen to one and then immediately queue up another. Instead of just recounting famous crimes, each episode explores how something as ordinary as food can become central to an extraordinary story. If you are someone who enjoys history, psychology, fascinating facts, or podcasts that makes you think, I genuinely think you will enjoy True Crime Culinary. Give it a listen wherever you get your podcasts. And if it hooks you the way it did me, be sure to subscribe because it's a refreshingly original take on storytelling that's well worth checking out.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sapient. I'll keep the introduction short because I think the conversation is going to be longer. Um, Today we have David on the show, and David is a business owner, but he also owns multiple businesses, from what I can see, and he's also a content creator by the looks of it, and he's very pristine background. So hi there, what's up? How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks. Hey, Ganesh. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yep, not a problem. So, are you into music, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, that's my kind of my first love. Since I was a kid, kind of grew up in a music household, musical parents,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad got me my first guitar and got me addicted to playing hair metal rock and roll from the '80s. And so that
Mm-hmm.
was my upbringing was AC/DC and playing rock music, and then eventually picked up drums and bass guitar and started singing. And so yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your journey? Like, what's your journey from go from music to business?
So, um, it's kind of it's an interesting story. It takes a lot of turns, but essentially the meat of it is, when I was in my early, 20s, I kind of had the aspirations that a lot of musicians have. Like, I want to start bands, I want to play shows, I want to go on tour and do those sorts of things. And that's kind of when the internet was becoming a thing where you could put out YouTube videos. This is the early days of YouTube, where
Hmm.
you could do cover songs, and if you got like, you know 20,000 or a million views, like, that was crazy back then.
Yeah, you're it.
um yeah, you were it. So that was kind of the dream. It was the early days of YouTube, and
Hmm.
just learning how to record. I put together, a little basic recording studio in my garage, and started
Hmm.
I bought like a flip camera. I remember it was a 720p. It was HD. um
Yeah,
but it had like the smallest sensor in the world. It was the crappiest footage ever. And I remember like
yeah.
buying a little fisheye lens to screw on so I could like see more of the. So I just kind of learned about filmmaking and video production and audio production through those, my 20s. And
Hmm.
then eventually, reality kind of sets in, and you have to start getting a real job and making actual
Yeah.
money to pay the bills. And so, kind of, I've always, done music. I've always been involved in church and things, and played music on worship
Hmm.
teams and that sort of thing in the Christian church. So I kind of always stayed tethered to that.
Hmm.
But it sort of led me down this path of, well, I got to something that actually pays the bills is technology. And so I was,
Yeah.
an avid gamer as well. I was your
Nice.
typical nerd playing World of Warcraft
Hmm.
and Counter Strike, and having LAN parties with my friends in the garage,
Yeah.
staying up all night long till
Hmm.
dawn playing video games. So, and I remember my friends and I used to say to each other, like, one day, this computer stuff's going to make us a lot of money.
Hmm.
We may not be athletic or have super, we're not salespeople or whatever, but we know how to do
Hmm.
technology, and that's going
Yeah.
to be our way. So that kind of set me off on the path of getting into tech and IT,
Hmm.
and um, years of that, and kind of got actually burnt out of being in IT, like the traditional
Hmm.
help desk, break
Yeah.
fix work. You're always fixing people's problems.
Yeah.
So I left IT and I went back to music for a while. I just
Hmm.
started playing gigs as I could
Hmm.
find them. Me and my acoustic guitar, playing any bar I could for a couple years, and then kind of got myself back into video production and
Hmm.
started a video production company. Started filming weddings and industrial videos and all kinds of stuff. But like music, video production is very hard, or was at
Yeah.
least, industry
Hmm.
in the time I was doing it. This is before TikTok and Instagram Reels. Like none of that
Yeah.
stuff
I mean,
existed.
this is before like you could one shot a chroma key.
Right. No, Chroma was like, you better light the green screen perfectly because the software
Right?
really
Yeah.
sucked.
Yep.
And you're like manually, cutting yourself out a lot of
Yeah.
times because
Outlining. Yeah.
the green screen just didn't work, right? So yeah. Um,
Hmm.
I'm like, I saw a BTS video and they made this look a lot easier when they filmed the Matrix. I'm like, I don't know why I can't do this.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I kind of accidentally got back into tech because I worked at a company that made video production equipment,
Hmm.
and so they needed like a sales guy. It was a small company. They're like, we need somebody that
Hmm.
can do sales, fix all our computers, and run our e-commerce website, um, and just kind of be a general wears many
Hmm.
hats, person. So signed up for that, and the rest is kind of history. I got into e-commerce and taught
Hmm.
myself coding. I never went to school for software development. Taught myself to
Hmm.
code, and learned e-commerce platforms and grew in my career until I was working at much larger companies and doing big projects. And then
Hmm.
along comes AI,
Yeah.
and now I'm on a whole new adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, because I think we both are from the same generation, at least I hope so. I'm 30 right now.
Okay.
Um, so growing up with this fascination of a computer, right? I think that is something very unique to our generation
Mm-hmm.
because either you are a nerd or not, right? Your mouth would open wide when you saw a big block of computer, like a metal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because oh my god, like, this is it, right? Like, this is shit. Like I still remember the IG2, and the first time I saw Counter Strike, I was like, holy fuck! Like you can shoot people,
Yeah.
right? Um, do you think that because even where I come from is pretty much similar. Like I did not learn coding, right? Um, I had a very poor choice in studies. I studied accounting, and I worked there for like 3 months before like, fuck, this sucks. Like
Yeah.
like I don't want to do this, right? Um, but even I am like a self-taught coder of somewhat, right? So it's like, do you think that fascination of computers, right, and being able to physically see like an elephant-sized hard disk, back in the days, and the floppy disk era, right? Do you think that fascination of technology is what helped us to be this close to this evolution?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just turned 40, and so I can
Mhm.
remember um my dad introducing me to computers was
Mhm.
actually building them. And so I was empowered from the start. Like,
Yeah.
you need to learn this stuff. This is a motherboard.
Hmm.
This is a processor. This is what it does. Like, he taught me all the components, how to put them
Yeah.
together. And then when I remember when I was playing Quake, original
Hmm.
Quake, and I can remember like the nail gun would like it
Hmm.
was so bad, such a shitty processor that the nail gun would just like it would render a
Yeah.
frame, and then like a couple seconds later it would render a frame, and
Yeah.
and um I remember when the
I
patch
mean, it was doing its best, though.
it was doing its best, but it was not. the right
Yeah.
machine. And then I
Yeah.
remember when I think it was the Pentium or the Pentium 2 came out,
Hmm.
and we upgraded the computer together. And
Yeah.
then like the first time I played Quake with the nail gun was just like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so
Yeah.
I'd gotten used to playing it the shitty way,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
could still play the game. It's amazing how adaptable we are as humans, because like I just thought that's how it was, right? I didn't know
Yeah.
any better. No, I'd never seen a good computer.
Hmm.
So I think we kind of had this upbringing of like, you can just fix things, you can just build computers and do
Yeah.
things, and you're not beholden to what you get from the store.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's only very recently that I even started buying computers. Like
Hmm.
I'm on a MacBook right now,
Yeah.
but that's just because the convenience, and it's a
Hmm.
laptop and it's amazing hardware and software we have these days. But I still
Yeah.
have machines right here, on my desk behind me that I built. It's like, to this
Hmm.
day,
Yeah.
I can just go buy it, but I
Hmm.
still want to build it. I still want to tinker
Yeah.
and play. And I think that this era of software, and that's kind of what software did. It was like, you don't have to deal with the solution you buy off the shelf. You can just customize things. You can make
Hmm.
wholly new software that never existed.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like magic.
Yeah. Pretty
So
much.
yeah, yeah. To the unseeing eye, it's essentially
Yeah.
magic.
Hmm.
Which AI is like I call it like a mechanical wrench. It
Hmm.
just gives you so much leverage to
Yeah.
create at scale
Hmm.
this magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it does feel like, um, in today's world, right? Um, like the nerd population is kind of shrinking, right? Um, because GTA 6 is not getting released on PC first, right? It's getting released on PlayStation.
Travesty.
Yeah, it's like real indicators of economy at this point of time, right? Um, so when you look at the kind of, I'd say, the graph of evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, where we went from shooting, stars in like a pixelated display, like a monkey doing two fingers, right? Um, to today's world where people are one-shotting whiteboarding like an entire app, right? Although the technicality is debatable, we are there, right? We are nearly there if you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
um, where do you see the next step is?
I want to recommend a podcast I recently checked out called True Crime Culinary because it's unlike anything else I have ever listened to. At first, I thought it was going to be just another true crime show. But what really surprised me is that it uses food as the lens to tell stories about crime, history, survival, and some truly unexpected moments from the past. You come away learning things you did not even know you wanted to know. One of my favorite parts is that the episodes are concise, so it's easy to listen to one and then immediately queue up another. Instead of just recounting famous crimes, each episode explores how something as ordinary as food can become central to an extraordinary story. If you are someone who enjoys history, psychology, fascinating facts, or podcasts that makes you think, I genuinely think you will enjoy True Crime Culinary. Give it a listen wherever you get your podcasts. And if it hooks you the way it did me, be sure to subscribe because it's a refreshingly original take on storytelling that's well worth checking out.
Um, I'm sort of in this camp where I understand the complexity of systems that have a lot of moving pieces,
Mhm.
and when you're in large enterprise environments with hundreds or thousands of employees, or you have a big e-commerce site that has thousands and thousands of pages, those economics of scale
Yeah.
have very real performance and knock on effects from all that
Mhm.
complexity. There's so many things that can just break. Um, so I think we're moving to a world where we don't have these large monolithic applications that control our whole business,
Yeah.
but we have these smaller apps. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm already seeing are you have these like business power users that never wrote code, they're not programmers, but they understand how their company works or how their department works.
Yeah.
And they felt a pain point
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. And they're like, there's got to be a solution for this. And now they're just vibe coding like little apps or
Mm-hmm.
little things to fix it, to
Yeah.
make it their life better.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you're instead of like 5 big enterprise applications that run your whole business, I think
Mm-hmm.
you're still going to have that for the core
Yeah.
of your business, but then you're going to have like 1,000 little apps that are everywhere
Yeah.
that people just made,
100%.
little scripts,
Yeah.
little tools, like Claude artifacts, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like at a certain point you would have like an orchestrator to hold all that together.
It's that, or it's organized chaos. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what the answer is, but I think this is the problem that we have to figure out, or what a lot of companies are
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out. It's like, okay, Deborah in accounting made this app that runs month end, and
Yeah.
she's the one that runs month end.
Yeah.
Deborah just retired,
So
and
we
the
are
app was
fucked.
on her computer, and she ran it
Yeah.
every time,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody knew. And
Yeah.
now month end has to be done, and like, I don't know, Deborah
Mm-hmm.
always did month end, so you're gonna have like
Yeah.
those
Mm-hmm.
sorts of gaps in process
Yeah.
at companies where you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to know, but then once it happens, you're going to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because I also feel like there is this ceiling of knowledge, right? Because at the end of the day, it is like a human interaction point, and I think that's the the cap, right? Like, I'm sorry, you cannot exceed that cap. I feel like because you can write like hundreds of documentation of context, but at the end of the day, the question is, can a person actually digest it and handle that,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Are there
Um,
humans that understand what was built, why it was built, how
exactly,
it works?
and also it's like the problem is the way you would write a documentation is completely different than how I would write it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the way you would digest the information is completely different than I would do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like there seems to be this the total difference in that, and nobody knows how to overcome that, right? So
Yeah.
here's the next like question for you, I guess, is do you think there is an AI bubble?
I I think there are. See how I want to phrase this. Like, I don't believe there's one big AI bubble. Because even you look at
Mm-hmm.
like the .com
Yeah.
bubble and it burst, like, you still had very successful websites that didn't fail during that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's more like there's an AI bathtub of suds, and there's a lot of bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um,
Yeah.
and so like I think a lot of bubbles are gonna pop, and then like new ones are gonna come in, and like, and you're. I think what we're already seeing is the pace is happening so fast that like, I can still remember. I think I installed a to what was it? It was an orchestrator, basically like a planning um
Mm-hmm.
package for agents. This
Mm-hmm.
is back, geez, it's only been like a year and a half. On Cursor, it
Yeah.
couldn't plan. It couldn't like
Mm-hmm. It was shit.
evaluate
I remember that.
results.
Yeah.
Yep. And then like
Mm-hmm.
it would come up with like, here's the steps, and it would like
Yeah.
save prompts that it was going to iterate through, because it wasn't good at sequential thinking, and it wasn't good at like carrying out
Yeah.
long running tasks. So you had to
Mm-hmm.
install, like, there were whole services and things built around this concept of your agency to be able to plan for long
Yeah.
running tasks. And then like 3 months later, freaking Anthropic comes out and they're like, oh, we built that. It's just part of Claude Code
Yeah.
now. Right.
Yeah.
So like it's these little ecosystems and these little products that solve
Mm-hmm.
a pain point with the
Yeah.
limitations of what the AI tools can do now.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2 freaking days, usually Anthropic is the one, they come out, they're like, oh, by the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
we just updated Claude Desktop, install the latest version, and it does 10 things that
Mm-hmm.
you were paying money for all these other products. So
Yeah,
like these like little bubbles, if that makes sense.
yeah. Do you remember Perplexity?
I still use Perplexity, yeah.
Yeah. So you're one of the last users, I guess.
Is there something new? I've been
Yeah.
a die-hard Perplexity person.
Mhm. Yeah, because in India they gave it for free for 1 year, and that's all it took for people to forget it. 1 year. It's like, you know, the kind of as you said, right, like smaller bubbles popping at the same time, right? And now I see there's CPU based AI models coming out, and I'm like, oh yeah, like a lot of hardware people are kind of fucked,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you look at Oracle and people who build GPU capacities, and now are like, okay, what do we do with these GPUs, right? I mean, they could probably refurbish it and sell it to gamers, or like crypto miners.
Yeah. Or they stack and they run some models on the GPUs and some models on the
Yeah.
CPU, and now they've got multiple
Mm-hmm.
models running on the
Yeah.
hardware.
Yeah. Because um, some I saw this interesting article that said, like, do we have enough AI computation for the evolution of AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about how there is this shortage of GPUs and everything, right? And I really looked into it, and it turns out that as AI goes through this evolution, right? Not everybody is going to use this like trillion parameter AIs,
Yeah.
because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
the problems that most people are solving
Mhm.
don't, and you might quote me for this and I might get canceled, but most problems don't need Fable 5.
Yep.
Right? Like they just don't. Like, and I've literally had conversations with people that are like, yeah, I wanted, I needed to make a small CSS tweak, but I was too
Mhm.
lazy and I didn't want to change the model selection because
Mhm.
I'm not anywhere close to my usage, so I just had Fable do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
And it does feel like token maxing is a trend now. It doesn't matter whether you're efficient or not. It's like, can you maximize it? Because even if you look at all these vibe coding summits that are going on, all the talk is, oh, you know what? I use like a fucking billion or like a trillion tokens, and I'm like, yeah, it's like saying exactly. It's like saying like I use like, I don't know, 1,000,000 pounds of something to cook some that was like ordinary, right? You
I
don't
don't
require that.
I don't understand the mentality of having an agent running on a task all night while I sleep,
Yeah.
because my experience as someone who wrote code and did
Mm-hmm.
programming was that it took so much mental energy for me just to like hold the code base in my head,
Mm-hmm.
think through the
Yeah.
problem, execute on actually like writing out the
Mm-hmm.
functionality. Like it was days, weeks, right? Of
Yeah.
like you're trying, you're failing, you're Googling shit, you're looking on Stack Overflow, you're trying to figure out why you're getting this stupid exception and for no reason and blah blah blah. Like it's all the toil, right?
Yeah.
And then you prompt it, and freaking Grok 4.5 does
Yeah.
some crazy shit and gets it done
Mm-hmm.
in like 5 minutes. And you're like, God
Yeah.
damn it. That would have
Yeah.
taken me 3 days.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are like, okay, well, if it can do that in 5 minutes, imagine what it can do if it runs all night. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you
Not
going to
much.
have it do? It just made a
Yeah.
miracle happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like brush off the hands. Let's go have a beer. Like we just did
Yep.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
like we didn't really do a hard
Yeah.
day's work, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's the point of the leverage, right? It's like it's doing
Yeah.
stuff at record pace that we could never do
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yeah. I mean, if you go on Twitter right now, right? Sorry, X.
Yeah.
Before Elon sues me. If you go on X right now, the way people kind of muscle their credentials is, they say, last month I used like a I don't know, like a 2 million tokens, or like
Mm-hmm.
100 million tokens, and I'm like, so what? It's like imagine in NASCAR, if somebody said, hey, last month I used like 2 million gallons of fuel. And we're like, to do what?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because
Yeah.
we all have, the same engines, like in terms of AI engines, right?
Yeah. What do you build?
We all,
What value do you
yeah,
bring to it?
exactly. Yeah, like which circuit did you race on?
Yeah.
That needed so much fuel.
I can just drive around the country aimlessly and use the same amount of fuel. It doesn't mean I
Exactly.
got anywhere, especially if I'm driving in
Yeah.
a circle.
Yeah, because I see in X bios they say, you know, I saw somewhere, person was putting like 25 million tokens used or something like that. I'm like, and what? It's like like how, because I'm a digital marketer too. Few digital marketers say managed a, I don't know, a $2 million ad budget. I'm like, that's what every editor in the movie, Avatar or any big production movie can say.
Mhm.
Handled $1 trillion budget movie,
Yeah.
right? Like, because no single person is managing that big of a budget or that big of a token usage,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be efficient.
I've I have the unique perspective of having worked at a large retailer where
Mhm.
optimizing code with like a 3-line change could
Mhm.
bring down the website or make it 2 times faster.
Yeah.
It's like knowing the exact spot and really
Mhm.
thinking through, because the stakes
Yeah.
are high. You've got, thousands of requests a second. It's a
Mhm.
hugely trafficked website.
Yeah.
The value was not how many lines of code could I execute on this
Yeah.
project, because that would just introduce a ton of risk.
Mhm.
Right? There's no, like, you for sure are gonna break all kinds of shit doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
The stakes are extremely high. So you're not winning any awards by lines of code added. You're actually probably making things worse.
Exactly.
So I struggle. I that's why I struggle so much with, like, oh my god, I did so much work
Yeah.
that I never could have done. Like, how do you
Mhm.
even know how to parse what it did? Because now you have to, a human still has to realize the value of what was created and be able to
Yeah.
articulate, like, what was the output of those 24
Mhm.
trillion tokens that you used.
Exactly.
I mean, how do you
Yeah.
explain that? What you
Yeah.
actually
Mhm.
manifested and how it works and how it improved things or not.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm. Yeah, because my kind of point of view, right, is, let's say one person is, um, like an average person has an intelligence lower than AI. Let's just say that. I'm not saying exactly, right?
that would be
Okay.
me.
Now,
I'm well in that
yeah.
camp of average, below average intelligence.
No, no, no. I think we have far more robust intelligence than AI. Um, but right, my perspective is, um, an average Formula One team, right, has around 1,000 engineers working on the car, right, and even then, they only introduce probably 2 or 3 upgrades in a year. AI, the opportunity, right? It would introduce like shit ton of updates every race,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing would be trackable, and you would not know which update actually works and which doesn't.
Well, and then you would
Right?
realize the steering wheel stopped turning the wheels at some point. You're like,
Yeah.
it looks like a car, sounds like a car, but I can't steer now, and I don't know when did that change? Like, because
Yeah.
it was a pretty core requirement. Car has to be able, like, drivable.
Yeah.
To change direction, like that was like that was like
Exactly.
agents MD file at the very top. Like, steering must still work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Because
absolutely right.
right.
Because the steering should work in the freaking race car.
Yeah, it's like, sorry to, for any Formula One fans. I apologize. I mean, I don't care, but it's, I still apologize. That there is a team called as Aston Martin in Formula One. Um, and their drivers, right? The person who's actually driving the car, cannot drive more than like 25-30 laps, because if they kind of drive more than that, right, which is like not even half the race distance, they would have like permanent nerve damage in their hands. Like, the steering is so freaking bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, probably someone wipe coded that car, right? Because it's like, you can drive the car,
Yeah.
right?
That's
But can you
hilarious.
do it for the full race? They're like, yeah, maybe not. No, you're right. We should probably wipe code it too,
Yeah.
and complete the race at least,
Yeah.
right? Like
I
that's where it, yeah.
I never trust. I've never trusted anything less than when a model has tells me that it's ready to deploy to production.
Mhm.
That's a red flag for me. Like as soon as I see, we're all done, all the steps completed, all tests are passing, this is ready to
Yeah.
deploy straight to production. That's when I know, like,
Mhm.
oh no,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
not ready.
Yeah. Then people use Code Rabbit or something to evaluate the wipe coded stuff
Mm-hmm.
with AI.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like, who can validate, um, the insurance claim? The person who works for the insurance company.
Right.
It's like that, right? It's like, let AI actually evaluate what other AI did.
Yes.
Because, of course, it's different.
Yeah, that's been my strategy lately. Is have agent one writes the code, and then agent two comes and tests everything with a
Hmm.
controlling a browser, and then code
Yeah.
review agent different model comes in,
Hmm.
finds things, and that's actually worked pretty well
Yeah.
for me.
So let's talk about your businesses,
Sure.
right? So, okay, let me ask you, what do you not do?
Oh gosh, I'm not a chef
Hmm.
professionally, so there's that.
Got it. So, you're a white chef.
Yeah, yeah, vibe
Yeah.
chef. Yep. So we have a couple rental businesses. We rent out RVs. We
Hmm.
rent out moving boxes. We have a company called Totes on Loan that we started last year. That concept has gotten pretty popular. I was on a couple podcasts just talking about
Hmm.
rental businesses, and so we've got a community of people that we're helping start tote rental businesses,
Hmm.
and so that led me to create a SaaS product called Tote Flow.
Hmm.
So Tote Flow is basically your business in a box for running a tote rental business. You get a website, a back office,
Hmm.
Stripe billing, contract signing, all the fun things you need to be up and running.
Got it. So, you just blueprinted your own business?
Essentially, yeah. I had built the
Got
software
it.
to run our own business, and then when the
Hmm.
community started, they're like, "Hey, you said you had software. Like,
Hmm.
can we buy that?"
Yeah.
Like, sure.
Hmm.
So
Got it.
so
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
what's the leverage there? Because if you're able to blueprint, I mean, as far as my monkey brain can think,
Yeah.
um, if you can blueprint your business and you would still survive, meaning you blueprinting your own business doesn't affect your own business, right? What do you think is your leverage, or what do you think is the gap for other businesses? Is it geography? Is it technology? Is it serviceable, area? Like, what's the gap?
For us, it's the quality of the products. Like a lot of people, when they start this business, they kind of buy they have these cheaper totes here that are kind of like they're a black color and they have
Mhm.
a big yellow lid, and they sell them at all the big box stores like
Mhm.
Costco and Home Depot and those sorts of things. We opted for actual professional logistics totes. So rather than trying to pay, $7 for a tote, we
Mhm.
buy totes that retail value at like $30 a piece. So the
Got it.
perceived value is already higher. So a customer that rents from us knows, oh, these are like expensive totes. I couldn't just go buy these, right, and have
Mhm.
them. Um, and then I think that the technology is a big differentiator. The fact
Mhm.
that we don't have to manage a calendar manually and try to manage Stripe payments directly and DocuSign stuff. I don't have to
Mhm.
fill out a DocuSign every time I get a new, customer. We
Mhm.
basically built it so it's all push button, click of a button to do everything. And customers can order online, which is a huge thing. They don't have to call us; they can just pick the package they want.
Mhm.
We were big on bundled pricing, making sure that it was clear. Because the biggest, number one question we got was, "How many totes do I need for my move?"
Mhm.
It's like, well, here's based on the size of your house or number of bedrooms, here's some pre-made packages for you. So I think that, and just, we've got our operation down pretty much to a science at this point.
Okay.
Pretty easy business to keep running.
Mhm. Got it. And you said that you kind of blueprinted your own business, right? Um, so let me ask you this, right? Once you kind of build this tool, or the whole blueprint of the business, which is like, let's say, a part of automation, but also the part of mastermind, right? Like that means you were mastermind and you kind of corrogated your experiences, but also your learnings, right? Once you kind of went public with that tool, right? What was the reaction? Was it like this is exactly what I wanted, or it needs changes, or what was the reaction?
Um, I built it. I built the tool with the community. So
Mm-hmm,
a lot of times in software, when we build apps, we're like, I just need an idea, and then I'm going to build it, spend a bunch of time on it, and then hopefully I got it right, and then I'm going to go find customers.
mm-hmm,
My approach for any software that I build these days is, what do I need?
mm-hmm.
I'm going to build it how I want it, how I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
And then once I get other users into it,
Mm-hmm.
I get immediate feedback because I'm literally sitting with them, not in
Got
person,
it.
but video call,
Yeah.
share your screen,
Mm-hmm,
try to do things. Let me know what doesn't make sense, and we just iterate that way. First couple customers, they asked me for it. They're like, "Can I have your software?" I'm like,
got it.
"Sure." You want to be my guinea pig beta tester customer, and
Mm-hmm,
you're gonna find all the bugs. It's gonna be broke as hell. Half the
yeah.
shit isn't gonna work, but
Mm-hmm,
you're gonna get to like help mold this to exactly how you
mm-hmm,
want it to work for your business too.
yeah.
So I think building software as a community was a
Mm-hmm,
huge aspect to what this software became.
mm-hmm,
And to this day, like all my users are in Slack together, so they can they can rise up against me, I guess, I suppose. Hopefully
mm-hmm,
that never happens, but
yeah.
I'm right there with them in the trenches. I'm using the same software as them, so
Mm-hmm,
anytime any of us has a problem,
yeah.
or we have ideas, or I finally got my first customer in Canada, so we're US
Mm-hmm,
based, and so I got a Canadian customer, and they're like, "What about Canadian dollar currency?" And I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, multi-currency support. Hey
Mm-hmm,
Claude,
yeah.
or hey Cursor, let's add multi-currency support and kind of iterate it through that, and now
Yeah.
now you can set different currency amounts." Um,
Mm-hmm,
so it just like once the core product was there, it just keeps kind of growing organically as new users come on and they want new
mm-hmm,
features.
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people try to do like waterfall old school where they're like,
Mm-hmm,
I need to think of every possible thing that
yeah.
a customer might
Mm-hmm,
need. I need to build all these features out and make it like the best thing ever. Um,
mm-hmm,
we didn't start that way. It was like, here's a half-cocked thing. A lot of the CMS was like open HTML boxes because
mm-hmm,
I was just I knew how to use it. It wasn't meant for
yeah.
non-technical people. And so, you said the deer in the headlights. They're like, what is this? This is
Yeah.
scary. Like, well, let me make you, some rich text editors and some drag and drop and add an image
Mm-hmm,
uploader. And we added all the nice fancy stuff later. It was just get it
yeah.
functional, get them live.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
And if somebody wanted to, let's say they have their expertise, right? Like they have their knowledge base, which seems to be the last defense of humans.
mhm.
Hey, here is what I have learned. And if they wanted to push out a project, right, and make some footing in terms of user base, right? What would you, what would be kind of your suggestion on that?
Find someone who has an idea, who either owns a business or um, I'd say, yeah, find somebody who has a service business or a small business. They have
Mm-hmm,
pain points. They don't have time to figure it out,
mm-hmm,
and offer to solve their problem and build them an app for free
yeah.
just to get real world working knowledge
Knowledge.
of what
Mm-hmm,
is actually useful
yeah.
in a business, and then build that. And then if that person is overjoyed and loves the software you built, you know
Mhm.
you've got something that other people will pay for.
Yeah.
Especially if they will pay you. Not to like,
Mhm.
I think like nobody paid me in the traditional software world. You know, you've got venture capital and startup costs and runway and all this fancy stuff. Um, I I think if there's a bubble at all, it's that.
Mhm.
I don't think it's worth it for VC firms to spend millions of dollars
Mhm.
on hypothetically great software.
Yeah.
I think we're in the age of the bootstrap software entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but
No, I no, I think you're dead. Yeah, I think you're dead. So you essentially said ideate, right? But
Mhm.
with somebody who actually knows that shit.
Yeah.
And then meet the requirements
Mm.
and take $1 million payday. I think 3 steps.
Yeah. Or like several $1,000s. Like
Yeah.
I mean, ToteFlow is a micro SaaS. Like I'm not a millionaire.
Mhm.
Or I'm not
Yeah.
even 100,000 there. I'm like
Mhm.
10,000 there or something after like a year. So like
Yeah.
it's not
No,
like
I think you're a millionaire in principle. Like
Mhm.
that's a trend now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a principal millionaire is what people call themselves.
Yeah. I think what'll happen is I'll the company uh, uh, so I have another company. So I've
Mhm.
got tote rental, RV rental. My wife and I bought a franchise. So
Mhm.
we bought there's a franchise here in the States called Painting with a Twist. So
Mhm.
basically they're art classes. You go and you there's an instructor and they walk you through a painting and you drink wine, and
Mhm.
the
Paint.
demographic is mostly women. So
Mhm.
some guys that will go on a date night with their girlfriends or wives, and paint with their wives. For the
Yeah.
most part, it's women though. So my wife kind of runs that business, and then
Mhm.
me and a business partner started a company doing tech consultancy, AI implementation, automation, and we're
Mhm.
called Artificial or Intelligence.
Mhm.
And you can
Nice.
find us at deployaoi.com.
Mhm.
And
And
so,
how hard is it to market that?
um, well, we haven't had to. It's such a hot thing right now that we haven't really had to
Mhm.
market.
Mhm.
It's making real relationships in our community. It's going to networking events. There's
Mhm.
AI meetups that are in our
Yeah.
town. Um, LinkedIn is obviously huge, and not just like blasting pointless crap in mic drop posts, but real connection and like genuinely interacting with people on LinkedIn
Mhm.
helps. But no, we've just been, I guess, fortunate or blessed or something that we've just had.
Mhm.
We announced we were doing this, and
Mhm.
we've had some initial clients reach out and be like, "Yeah, we need
Mhm.
that." Like CEOs are like, "Yes, I need this. I'm using these tools. I need it in my
Mhm.
business.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing is archaic. Come help us."
Yeah.
So our model is more, we want to be embedded with your business strategically. We're
Mhm.
not really like a dev shop. I mean, we'll build software,
Yeah.
we'll build automations and workflows and all those things, but we have a more teach a man to fish mentality. Like, let's show you
Mhm.
how to use these tools, and let's find the people in your business that are champions that
Yeah.
are already vibe coding. Let's find Deborah in accounting, like we talked about earlier, who
Mhm.
made the thing to run month
Yeah.
end, and let's train her up to
Yeah.
go to other parts of your business and automate process and build little apps and coach
Exactly.
other
Mhm.
people on the team on how to use the tools.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also looks like, right, in the modern corporate world, um like CEOs and top management, right, tends to trust a consultant rather than their own core employees.
Mm.
Like that's an irony that I've seen, right? Because it's like you being an employee, you might have suggested something, but until an external consultant comes in and says, "Yeah, this is what we need to do," they're like, "Oh yeah, exactly. Like this is revolutionary," right?
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
But to pass the same thing, the employee has to like fight and probably put their job on the line,
Hmm.
right? Because the management will say, hey, this better work or you will be fired,
Yeah.
right? But the consultant comes with an agreement that says, I know what I'm saying is shit and you can't do anything about it.
A lot of times it's the you're kind of onto something a little bit. Like these 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 executives, they know the answer.
Yeah.
They just need affirmation.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it's their, like unhealed kid inside. They need validation.
mhm. Or
They're
their
like,
teams legitimately don't have capacity. Like there's
yeah.
I mean, several of our customers are like, we want to do this,
Mhm.
but our people are just
Yeah.
strapped. They've got too much work.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's probably like small and medium businesses,
Hmm. Yes.
right? And that's where like the most creativity seems to come out of is small and medium businesses. It's not big corporations. It's not like, like 100,000 people working out of it, because that becomes a giant machine that's very slow in terms of how they work, right?
Yeah. You
So,
gotta you gotta
um,
you gotta think
mhm,
smaller scale.
yeah,
A lot of it's kind of a weird. I was having this conversation with somebody. Um,
mhm,
Bigger companies like to do big things.
yeah,
Maybe kind of cliche to say, but you think of like changing your ERP system or changing your HR management software or something like that. That's a huge project, big lift.
mhm,
Everyone's affected. There's a big migration. There's a big rollout. Right? They love these big projects. So a lot of the AI conversations we're having are, oh, your data is not great. Well,
mhm,
you need to have a we need to have a data project.
yeah,
We need an MDM and a data lake strategy, and we need like connecting
mhm,
everything, and we needed all these
yeah,
layers of clean data and all this stuff before we can even get the value out of AI.
yeah,
And I want to urge people to not think of it that way. Like that is a component. Like if you're really trying to
mhm,
derive good insight from your data, then obviously yes,
mhm,
you need clean data. There's so much there's so much work to do in
yeah,
the very unsexy manual stuff that your employees are still doing. Um,
mhm,
Insurmountable amount of work to help automate and make people's jobs less tedious.
yeah,
Where you don't need clean data.
mhm,
I mean, we
yeah,
literally still have customers that are hand transcribing from emailed PDFs into a ERP, right?
yeah,
We have the technology to
mhm,
read documents and pull the data out of them and automatically put them into the systems,
yeah.
and stuff like that all over the place.
I don't want to publicly shame one of my clients, but I want to, kind of. The other day I sent them a CSV instead of XLSX,
uh,
and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't know what is this." And he called me and he said, "Can you please send it to me in XLSX because I don't know what to do with CSV." I'm like, "Yeah, you can use Excel to open it." And he's like, "No, I don't want to because what if my computer gets affected?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been working with you for 3 years and now I want to affect your computer."
yeah,
I'm like, you know, and to be honest, that's the general public, right?
yeah. People are afraid of
And
stuff.
yeah,
They're not technical. Like even that's kind of what dawned on me with ToteFlow. Like they're not. People aren't dumb.
yeah,
They're they're just not familiar with this. It'd be like me
yeah,
trying to work on my car. Um,
hmm,
I'm basically an idiot when I try to work on my car. Like
yeah,
I'm the dumbest person you know.
hmm,
I say the wrong things. In fact, my business partner just made fun of me because I called it coolant instead of refrigerant for my AC system. He's like, if you go to a shop and you call it coolant, they're gonna laugh at you.
yeah,
So like,
yeah.
it
No, because
people
I think
people
my
just don't know, right?
exactly, because my thing is, no, they just don't have the time to kind of go through that. They, it's like, even we do that, right? Because we are like, as you said, with the car, right? They're just like, hey, like I don't want to fucking like have that much of bandwidth on it. Like just
Mhm.
fix it. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of business people see technology as that because they're like, I don't want to use technology, but it's absolutely necessary. So just get this shit done. I don't care whether it's PDF, OCF, or I don't know, it falls from sky. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like local storage, cloud, I don't know what to do, but just like fix this. Like,
Mhm.
I think that's the general approach towards technology,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Even with the younger crowds.
yeah, within reason. What the barrier always was though with that was,
Mhm.
well, fix it. It's like, okay, if money's no object, yeah, we can do
Yeah,
we can do anything. If you have unlimited money,
yeah,
we can literally
we
just
could do
build you
anything.
a rocket and go to space. I'm like,
Yeah, we could
well,
probably build you another world.
do an RFP, get the budget approved, and then like once the shit
Yeah,
really gets real, and they're like, oh, that's gonna cost how much? They're like, oh, no,
yeah,
don't just fix it. We'll
yeah,
just deal with it. I think what AI is doing is making that go away.
yeah.
So like it used to be $1 million project or $100,000 project, and now it's like, oh, I can
Hmm.
spend $1,000 in tokens
Hmm.
in a
Yeah.
couple weeks, and it's done
Hmm.
for the
Yep.
same kind of things we were
Hmm.
doing manually.
Yeah. But I no, you know what? I think like that sentence or that statement is going to be true for maybe next couple of years
Mhm.
because until all of these LLMs go public and then the revenue per share comes in, it's like, hey guys, like it's good that you can create a kitty image. Like, could you please deliver like I don't know at least like $100 million profit? And then all of a sudden, token is the next crypto,
Mhm.
right? Because okay, I don't know whether you saw this or not. Right now in China, it's a very good marketplace for token selling and buying
Mhm.
because they don't have access to Western LLMs. So
Okay.
there is a whole gray market of people selling open AI and Anthropic tokens.
Really?
Yeah,
I did
and
not know
you
that.
can buy like probably 10 cents on a dollar coin model tokens
Hmm.
from game. No, sorry, from gray markets. Uh, so it's like I think that's the next currency, right? Because they're like it's like Bitcoin in 2010s.
Mhm. Well, it goes
Hold
back.
on to it, don't lose it.
Yeah, it goes back to the hardware game again because now it's going to
Yeah.
be local compute,
Mm-hmm.
local inference,
Yeah. Exactly.
and it goes back to the conversation we had earlier. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
freaking need Fable and Opus for
Yeah. For
most of the
everything.
tasks you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, especially to kind of write a footer on a website. Maybe you don't need it.
Right. No.
Right.
So I think we're going to get
Um.
smarter at local AI usage and
Mhm.
local models. We're going to reach for the
Yeah.
frontier stuff for the actual hard problems. But
Yeah.
we're gonna let local
Mhm.
inference run on a problem. Maybe that's where it can run all night and try and
Yeah.
fail and over test and whatever.
Mm.
But then when we need it
But
to get
I have tested these couple of CPU based AIs, and they're pretty good to be honest. Like they are better than what we expect them to be.
yeah,
Right. So now I just have multiple CPU AI is working on everything. So it critical thinking to TTS to image generation, and they do pretty good for if you have an absolute potato of a setup, they're like, hey, like my GPU cannot run GTA 5,
right.
right? Probably CPU and the GPU hybrid is a better call than just going all out on I don't know Whisper or something that just runs on GPU.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't want to do that because I don't have SSD or HDD to do that, right? Um,
yep.
so I think that like we are going towards a more decentralized AI, right? I know AI community doesn't like that word because they bring up ethics. Hey, what if you jailbreak AI?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, which is kind of hard.
I it is. I don't know. I kind of agree though. I think um, we're gonna have to go back to smaller and more localized models for a lot
Hmm.
of things. It's either
Yeah,
that or we saw because I think the problem we're having here in the states is power consumption.
yeah,
Because
100%.
data centers are, hungry
Yeah,
beasts, and so we've kind of outlawed nuclear power for a lot
yeah,
of our country. So we're going to have some real conversations about, do we bring back safe nuclear
the
energy
good
and
old.
some other
Mhm.
things to power this stuff. Um,
Yeah,
so
or do we push data centers to space?
right, sure.
That's a real conversation right now.
I don't get it, but I guess.
Yeah, imagine being one of the like maintenance people.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
think we're all going to be living in the show Expanse eventually, and we're going to have
Yeah,
deformed humans that grew up in low gravity and stuff.
yeah,
And it's not even going to be sexy. It's just like, no, I work in a space data center. We don't have like guns and stuff. It's just I'm
yeah,
just a maintenance guy, but I live here.
yeah, yeah. I live here. You know, food gets food gets delivered like once in 2 years.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably like pills,
yeah, yeah,
right? You probably get fresh food on your promotion or something.
yeah.
If you did a good job, they're like, here is real food.
There's a couple sci-fi movies that have this storyline. I think the movie's called Moon.
Yeah.
It's like an independent film. It's basically that
Mm-hmm.
premise. The guy's like, it's a one-man station on the moon, and the rovers all go out and mine the moon, and they're all automated, but if they break down, he has to go out and service them. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I think that I don't think we'll go there to be honest,
yeah,
because I you know why? Because I feel like humans have very like they move on very quickly.
mm-hmm.
We being the rapid evolution race, right? Like because you remember OCR used to be a real thing that people used to pay for,
Yeah,
right?
they still do.
Yeah, they still do. I mean, yeah, they still do, but it's like, is it even relevant today? Like that's the thing, I guess, right?
Yeah,
You just look at the portrait photography business, and Gemini just fucked it up. They're like, fuck you, photographers. We are doing three photo portraits for life,
mm-hmm.
right? And initially it was like, hey, like it gives you seven fingers. Do you remember that? Like
Yeah, oh yeah.
there used to be these statements where they're like, the day AI figures out fingers is the day AI becomes perfect, right?
I think the meme I keep seeing is like the when it solves Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting.
Have you seen those?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yeah. It's
Yeah,
that kind of a thing though. It's like once we can accurately generate Will Smith eating spaghetti, we've
yeah,
kind of made it.
yeah. Do you think Gemini can do it now?
Yeah. Well, there's models
So
that
it
can
is
do it.
perfect.
It's come.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Video and
Mhm,
and imagery and music generation are
mhm.
three areas of AI that I have admittedly not ventured into very much.
Yeah.
Like I've done a couple. When we started the tote business, I would try to generate some because I had no inventory yet.
Mhm,
I was just trying to get my website up, so we made
mhm.
some images and things, but
So you're a very ethical businessman. Instead of just like scraping Walmart for pictures, you're like,
mhm.
let's generate it.
Yeah, I mean, I had the stock photos from the site we ordered the totes from as
Mhm.
reference, but even then, it's like, hey, take this tote image and put it with in front of a happy family who's packing
Yeah.
their home at
Mhm.
at golden hour, and the sun is coming into the windows and it looks amazing and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, it
Yeah.
it made that, but it looked a little cartoonish, and the tote was like taller than it was wide. It was like, what the hell? What did you do to this thing? It doesn't even look like real anymore. It looks like a garbage can now. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I use them. I mean, I I think I tweeted about it or put on a LinkedIn post that I had been using GLM 5.1 as my main driver for several months before 5.2 came out, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, 5.2," and I'm like, Yeah, I've been using it this whole time, guys. It's pretty good. So, mhm. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of the opinion that no idea is new under the sun. Not really. It's only how well you execute on the idea. So, like, 10,000 people can copy my website and start a tote business, but if they don't serve their customers well, if they don't answer the phone, if they don't provide good customer service and just are genuinely good at running their business, they're not going to do well. So you have to execute well on a good idea. Like, you can't just have a good idea. You have to actually do well at building the thing. Or sure. Mm-hmm. I don't. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. You're like a token CEO. You're like CEO in name. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I don't know. I tend to be a little more trusting just because of the fact that I kind of don't believe there's like, all of our data has already been compromised and it's on the dark web. So there's nothing is private anymore. But yeah, yeah. So I think it's just yeah, just try to use the tools you can, use the things that are affordable. It doesn't, for the most part, I don't really work on stuff that's like sensitive information for the most part for my personal businesses, right? Like, I'm not doing medical stuff. Um, like, I'm not, right. So, and everything I do with transactions, I do above board. Yeah. I mean, there's this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I suppose if you have like a side business, like an underground clinic that no one knows about, probably. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm just. Yeah, I mean but there's a ton of guidance around the compliance and standards for a lot of that stuff, and that's also a lot of the conversations I have with larger companies is how do we is stuff auditable? Is there a trail of what the agent did, what it decided, what code it changed, or what things it did? And those are all solvable things. You just have to do a little more. You have to be a little more diligent in how you build these systems and things. Yeah, just if you want to keep the conversation going, I'm on X. You can find me at David Stillson. And yeah, if you're interested in starting a tote rental business, I do have a community of folks. And we support multiple currencies now. So we're going international. So if anybody in a non-English speaking country wants to start a tote business and help me add multi-language support to Tote Flow, hit me up. Thank you.